Greetings and welcome to another video. Today is Monday, 11th of August 2025, and today I'm in Wellington. Well, to be specific, I'm just outside the Buckatree Hall Hotel at the bottom of the Wrekin. Today's video I plan to explore one of the footpaths you can find around the Wrekin, and it's going to be a gorgeous day doing that. But before I do, there's something I want to have a look at before we go any further. And right here is an absolutely gorgeous farmyard view. It's farmland in front of me. It's absolutely beautiful today. And down in the distance in front of us is Wellington itself. And as you can see, beyond Wellington is more of the surrounding countryside, surrounding farmland. And in the distance, the Shropshire Hills. Whenever I come up past the Wrekin and come up to explore the Wrekin, views like the one I'm looking at right now are absolutely gorgeous and are definitely worth the effort, especially on a day like today. So yeah. As I said, and as you can see, I'm at the Buckatree Hall Hotel, which is the starting point of today's journey. And if we were to look at this main road I'm standing next to right now, if we were to follow the road in the direction I'm facing, we'll eventually find ourselves in Wellington. However, if we were to turn around and look behind me and basically walk in the direction that I'm looking at now, if you were to walk in this direction instead, we'll find ourselves at the foot of the Wrekin itself. So yeah, it's a good time situation around here. Now, the last time I was here was a few weeks ago, and I was making a video visiting the Wrekin Unconformity, and I loved making that video. That was a fantastic video, and to be honest, the Wrekin Unconformity has become one of my favourite places around the Wrekin. So if anyone hasn't already done so, I would really appreciate you go back to that video about the Wrekin Unconformity and give it a watch. It's an absolutely gorgeous place, and if you're able to visit the place yourself, then the Wrekin Unconformity is definitely worth the effort. As for today, I'm going to be exploring a footpath I first explored about 3 years ago, I think it was, 3 or 4 years ago. And this time, I'm going to be following the path in the opposite direction to how I explored it last time. So, when I first explored this path, I started at the entrance to the Wrekin Golf Club and finished my journey somewhere near where I'm standing right now. In fact, I think I ended up in a Little Wenlock at the end of the day. But fast forward today, I'm starting right here, as I already said, and I'm planning to explore this footpath in the opposite direction to what I did last time. It's a beautiful day. It's going to be fantastic. It's going to be fantastic checking things out. So with that in mind, let's crack on and see how the day goes. And to get to where we want to go, we want to walk along the road in this direction as if we're going to the Wrekin. And it's only a few yards in front of us, the start of our path. So yeah, let's have a look. So here is where we want to be, and you're looking for this signpost here pointing in the direction of Urkelwood Nature Reserve, and this second signpost for the Wrekin Forest Trails, which takes us up along this path I'm looking at right now, and this is where we want to go. Of course, to my right you've got these little arrows, different arrows, pointing for different footpaths you can follow along the way. I think the most interesting one, the one I'd like to explore properly another time, is the Shropshire Way main route. But then we've got a variety of other ones to check out as well. And then over there in front of me, you've got that wooden sculpture about one of the fossils you could find of one of the animals that used to live here millions of years ago. I love artwork like that. It's absolutely gorgeous, and when I come around somewhere like a forest like this one, I always appreciate and enjoy artwork like this. So absolutely fantastic. In the meantime, like I said, we're coming up this way. And we want to work our way through this gate here. And we've got a signpost here. Welcome to the Urkel. And it has a lot of information here about the Urkel Forest and some of the things you can find here. I'm not going to read through this signpost today because I think I've already read through it the last time I was here making that video about the Urkel unconformity. But anyone coming here to visit for yourselves, I would definitely suggest you take the time to read this signpost. It's worth the effort. So yeah, onwards and upwards. Probably should mention though, because if I remember correctly, the path I'm planning to explore today is a long path. So there's a good chance that this isn't going to be one video, but maybe 2 videos or even 3. I've just got to find the appropriate spot to break it up, basically. So I don't want the video to be too long, but if I am going to make this a part 1, part 2, part 3, I've just got to find the appropriate times to break it up. But we'll worry about that when we get there. In the meantime, let's just carry on. I think I said in one of the previous videos, a few years ago when I came up exploring the Wrekin, I'd see this path all the time, I'd come past it all the time, but I never really explored it until that time 3 years ago, and especially a few weeks ago. But I suppose better late than never, and I'm fortunate to have come here today when it's pretty quiet and the sun shines out. Of course, I understand this path to be quite popular at times, with dog walkers, families coming to explore, and even people on their mountain bikes. But I've noticed come back by here quite a lot. So yeah, we'll see how it pans out, and good time situation. Good thing I've got my sunglasses on because it's awfully bright at the moment. So now, here's the important part. See this little signpost here, pointing in various directions of various footpaths? Well, you've got the Telford T50 50-mile trail and the Shropshire Way pointing off to my left here. And as we saw in my previous video, the Urkel unconformity, if we follow this path that I'm looking at right now, that's the path you follow to find the Urkel unconformity. But we're not going to be going that way at this moment. We're not going that way. Instead, we're coming over here to my right, where you'll see another little signpost, but slightly overgrown. Right. And we've got the Wrekin Forest Trails, along with those two other paths there, pointing off here to my right. And it's this way we're going today. Now, I remember doing this path I'm looking at right now once before, but there was an important difference between that previous video and what I'm doing today, which we'll get to in a few minutes once we get further along. And it's good to see there's a wooden path going along here, making the route easier. I wouldn't be surprised if part of the reasons they put this particular path here, this wooden walkway, is maybe the path underneath gets a bit muddy and slippery at times, but then we've also got the roughness of it all. But yeah, nice one. So back on the dirt trail, and as you can see, the path is going upwards now, so a bit of an uphill walk going on. Doesn't seem too steep. As long as you've got a decent pair of footwear on and stable feet under your legs, then you'll be fine. But yeah, despite what I just said, it's still a, well, maybe not the easiest hill in the world, but it's not the hardest. So yeah, let's get up this hill. Yeah, typical. Further up the hill you get, the steeper it feels, but at the same time it's not too bad. Not too bad. Let's carry on. So we've reached the top of the hill now, and we've got the this little signpost suggesting we're going in the right direction. So yeah, just carry on. I don't know if you can notice, but how peaceful it is up here. It's absolutely quiet. I'm definitely the biggest cause of noise at the moment with me talking. Yeah, but like I say, I'm the biggest cause of noise around here right now. But beyond that, it's absolutely peaceful. For anyone who enjoys the peace and quiet, a countryside walk like this is definitely for you. Just a few yards further down the path and to my right, someone set up this log bench. So if there's a group of you exploring this way, it's a nice spot here to take a break and relax as a group. So yeah, very nice. Now the path in front of me that we're exploring seems to be on a downward trend right now. I've got an idea of where we're going. If you go far enough, we come into a main road, which I'll talk about when we get there. But yeah, it's absolutely peaceful around here. So this section of path I'm coming down right now is rather uneven, basically. You've got rocks sticking up the ground, you've got tree roots sticking up the ground, and no doubt years of people walking along here to begin with have left the path very uneven. So if you're coming around here yourself, just be careful of that, and just be wary of where you're placing your feet. And if you're the kind of person who doesn't have stable feet to begin with, make sure you're coming along here with someone to help you out as and when appropriate. But no, it's definitely worthwhile being around here. Absolutely gorgeous. So when I said earlier on about breaking this video up into like part 1, part 2 and part 3, to kind of make that easier, I'm looking out for a couple of landmarks to help mark the breakup accordingly. And also, if anyone's following my footsteps in this video and coming along yourselves this way, these landmarks will help you stay to the path and hopefully not get lost. But yeah, speaking of which, we should be approaching the first landmark right now. Let's have a look at it. I like the way this tree stump is ending up. Very interesting, this one. Very nice. Right, there's a gate in front of me, and at the same time there's a main road in front of me, and this will be the first of the landmarks I'm looking for. So yeah, first things first, if we come over here to my left, You'll see these signposts for the two, well, the green and the red footpath and the Wrekin Forest Trail. That's pointing off to my left, which we'll reference in a moment. In the meantime, I just want to talk about this main road. And as I said before, the path we've just walked along I've done once before. And when I was last here, if we look at this road here, going off to my right, if we were to follow this main road in the direction I am now facing, that'll take us back toward where we started this video. We'd end up back at Buckatree Hall Hotel, going that way, and after that we'd end up back in Wellington. However, by that same measure, as I found out the last time I explored this way, if we were to follow this main road to my left, in the direction that I'm now facing, we'll end up in Little Wenlock and at the Huntsman of Little Wenlock pub, which is a nice place I've mentioned before in previous videos. But if we have a look behind me, that gate there, well, on the other side of that gate, as we've just seen, is the path I've just explored, and it'll take us back to where we started this video, back at the Buckatree Hall Hotel. But what we want to do instead is follow the road this way. Because there's a couple of signposts in front of me I want to have a closer look at, and I'll explain what I mean when we get there. Okay, as you can see, we're a few yards further up the road, and if we look behind me, yep, we were standing a few yards in that direction a minute ago, and that leads you back to the path we just explored. But if we were to follow the road up that hill there, as I said a few minutes ago, that'll take us to Little Wenlock and the pub, restaurant, hotel called the Huntsman of Little Wenlock. And it's a good way to explore up that way if you wanted, but we're not doing that today. Instead, we're looking at this here. And it's this path here I want to be exploring today. And we're going to be continuing on exploring the Wrekin Forest Trail. In addition to that, the Wrekin Forest Trail and the Hutchinson Way. All of which going up in this direction in front of me. Now this path behind me is the path I was talking about at the start of this video here. A path that will lead us back toward Wrekin Golf Club, and then after that back to Buckatree Hall Hotel. And it's a long path, to be honest with you, but it's a fun path. It's a fantastic path to explore. So with that in mind, I'm going to finish this video here at this little landmark, and in the next video we're going to follow up that way and find ourselves toward, if all goes to plan, at the Wellington Golf Club, Wellington Golf Course. So yeah, good times. On that note, take care, be safe, and I'll see you all soon in a couple of minutes in the next video. Take care and goodbye.